For today's video, we are going to be reviewing the PetSnowy Snow Plus self-cleaning litter box, and I am joined by my friends here who are going to be helping me review the litter box, which will explain as to why in a little bit. Huge shout out and thank you to PetSnowy for partnering with me on this video. As always, opinions are always honest and my own, so if there's anything that we don't love about it, we're gonna let you know. So in this video, we're gonna be going over all of the specs of the PetSnowy litter box. We're going to be letting you know if we think it is worth the price, who it is good for, and what kind of cats it is best for. First, I want to touch base on some of these specs, and I do have my notes here, so that's what I'm holding. But some of the specs about the litter box. So starting off with the control panel. So they do have a spot on the front of the litter box that has the basic control panel with everything that you need. And then they also do have an app where you can control things from the app, which I'm going to have Scarlett talk a little bit about later. One of the features is the entryway does have a curtain, so it kind of gives your cat a little bit of privacy. Also, right on the entrance of the litter box, it has a little litter mat to help with preventing litter tracking. So you could put a litter mat on the outside of the box as well, but that additional litter mat on the inside also adds extra litter tracking prevention, so that's really nice. The waste straw volume is 2.6 gallons or 10 liters, which we'll get into a little bit later, talking about how many you need, how quickly you go through them. They do have specific waste liners that you can purchase from PetSnowy. I feel like you really kind of have to purchase these specific ones because they're made specifically for this litter box. Absolutely. And you'll see a little bit more because of like how the actual waste liner drawer is made as to why you kind of need these specific ones. While I feel like maybe you could find some kind of dupe out there, I feel like these ones are probably gonna work the best with it. How easy is it to change these?
Oh, I love it. So on the PetSnowy application, it will actually alert you whenever there is a PetSnowy that needs to have its litter changed and the litter bag to be taken out. Now, whenever you take out the trash bag, it's pretty simple. There's 4 little notches that it comes out with the drawer, and you just pull it up and you just take it out, put it in the trash, and it's easy as putting a new one in. It also has explanations with the package that you initially get to insert it, and it's pretty simple. All explained.
I'd say it takes less than a minute to swap. It even, when you open the drawer, it will close itself up to make it easy to take off and then put back on.
How long does each liner last you with 3 cats?
2 weeks. We do fill them, empty them out maybe every 2.5, sometimes 3 weeks, depending on their diet.
My next question is, how is odor control?
Earlier you mentioned the curtain for privacy. It doesn't do just privacy, it also adds an extra barrier for odor control. When we first started to get the cats used to it, we had the curtain rolled up just so that they'd be more interested in poking their heads in and trying it out. But after they got used to it, we lowered the curtain because we could notice the smell stronger without the curtain there.
Interesting, cool.
In addition, we also, the PetSnowy comes with a odor control device that just attaches right into the front where the cats enter from, and that is good for 30 days. PetSnowy sells it. It's a 3-month supply, and honestly, it goes. You can have it using the app go off every like 2 minutes after a cat uses the litter box.
Interesting. Diffuses it like.
You can self-program it to diffuse when you would like it to.
I thought it was just like an all the time thing.
No, so and then
It'll do it when a cat uses it. That way, then it lasts longer.
You will use it more up if you do have it programmed. We prefer to have it programmed because we have 3 cats, so it can get kind of stinky with them.
We have it go off every day at noon just to be on the safe side.
That's really cool. I thought it was just kind of like a filter that you add in there, but that's
no, it actually releases some deodorizer, and it's good for 30 days typically, but it also alerts you whenever it's starting to expire. It'll give you a heads up so that like if you need to replace it or even buy products, it'll alert you.
You can buy a pack of 3 of the fragrance replacements at a time. This is something that, with the fragrance box, this is something you could technically skip, but you guys probably don't want to because you have 3 cats.
Yeah. We did try without it initially, just to see how effective it was, and I will say the difference is staggering.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, like, maybe if you have 1 cat, maybe this is something you don't have to spend the additional money on. unless you do just kind of want to have an extra way
Yeah.
to have that odor control.
Nice.
But at least the fact that it is an enclosed litter box also kind of helps with the odor control a bit as well.
Yep.
So the main question that you might wonder is how exactly does this litter box work? Basically, it's really simple. Your cat will go into the litter box, do their thing, and then once they are done, they leave, and the litter box is not going to start cycling until 4 minutes after they leave the litter box for safety control to make sure that your cat is no longer in the box when it does start cycling. Clean litter gets filtered out and the waste gets put into the waste drawer. The waste is dropped into the waste liner, which is in the bottom of the PetSnowy litter box. So is there any setting where you guys can like choose how long it waits till it filters, like after the cat leaves?
You can also actually have it set up so that sometimes if you don't want it to sit and get clumped to the liner, like the interior litter liner, you can have it go off actually 2 minutes after they go
Okay.
off. Inside the app, you are able to adjust the time.
Okay.
I think it goes in increments of 2 minutes, up to like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
We have it set to the default of 4 minutes.
Then that brings me to safety. So this kind of goes in hand with this whole feature, but I've recently been seeing a lot of people talking about automatic litter boxes online, not specifically the PetSnowy, but other automatic litter boxes where people are really scared because cats have died or been injured with certain automatic litter boxes, and that goes to show that not all automatic litter boxes are created equal. I feel like there are a lot of automatic ones online that maybe are cheaper than what is expected. I mean, automatic litter boxes are pretty expensive, and I feel like there's a reason for that because I feel like a lot goes into it to make sure that it's going to be safe for your cat, and that's obviously a huge thing. Into the safety of it, you know, this thing is not going to cycle at all until your cat has left. It has these sensors to ensure that your cat is going to be safe. And my question to you is, how have you guys noticed how sensitive the litter box is as far as like when your cat touches it? Like, will it immediately like reset the time when the cat just touches it? Like, is it pretty sensitive?
So the PetSnowy has a weight scale whenever they hop in. So it gets notified at 4 pounds or more, I believe, that there's a cat inside there. And if they're inside there for too long, it gives a lovely notification about them hanging out in the litter box for too long, and they make it a cute message. So it does keep track of it and how long. And I think it's also a good thing because that can go into health, because if it's taking them longer to go to the bathroom, it could be a concern also, but it keeps track of it.
Nice, yeah. So that was a big thing that I've been seeing a lot about, which is really scary. So you want to make sure that if you are going to be investing your money in an automatic litter box, you want something that you know is going to be safe. So that's really good about this one. It's not going to even begin cycling until at least 4 minutes, unless you change the settings after it senses that the cat is gone. Does it ever sense even when your cat just kind of like touches it?
It also won't sense them until they go at least into the litter trap. So if they're stepping on the staircase on the outside, it's not going to sense someone there.
Right, but at least it has to walk over the other part before
Yeah, they have
it
to
gets
walk
in.
fully into it. So if the cat were to try and poke their head in because they're curious while it's, turning to do its litter, they wouldn't even be able to get into it. And if they did somehow stick their paws, I do know that it would stop
it
immediately, because it is very sensitive. If it's in its dump cycle, any outside movement, like I've accidentally sometimes bumped against it, and it stopped the cycle
Nice.
mid-stop.
That's
Like it
good.
wasn't going to turn any further.
Yeah, that's super important.
I know with the one time I was cleaning it and I wanted to do a rotation and I was just trying to scrape because that's how cat litter boxes go. It was about to start rotating and I scraped and it did a clunk because it felt the weight. It immediately stopped and gave an error. So that gave me some
It's like peace of mind.
peace of mind that, like, just in case, like, whenever we were first starting that, if the lid was open and a cat so happened to jump while it started rotating, that nothing bad was going to happen.
Right, that's
That
good.
would feel that weight and stop.
Going into the weight kind of thing too, they do say for automatic litter boxes in general, you don't really want kittens to use it because they can weigh too little that maybe the machine wouldn't sense the cat. So I think they say to wait at least 6 months before a kitten uses it, or even up to a year before the kitten uses an automatic litter box. But if you already have an adult cat and then you do get a kitten, you can still use the litter box and have your kitten start learning how to use it. However, you would just, there is a setting where you can make it so it's not going to be automatically cycling. So you can go in, and after your kitten uses the litter box, you can manually cycle it yourself. But so as long as you have a kitten who's not normally supposed to use an automatic litter box that will do it on its own, you would want to do that. So you're still not having to scoop, you would just have to manually go in and like cycle it like once or twice a day or whatever. So that's something to note if you do have a kitten as well as a dog cat and you want your kitten to start using it. They do say on their website that kittens weighing at least 3.3 pounds or more can safely use the PetSnowy in the automatic mode. What are your favorite features about the app? So I know it does help with like, it tells you the weight of the cat, right?
Right, it does.
So that's really nice.
You're able to track, you set up each cat's profile inside, and you tell them what their average weight is, and it can then sense, especially if there's at least a good pound disparity between each cat, it can sense which cat is in it. Like we have a cat that is 8 pounds, which is our smallest, all the way up to our 14-pound cat, and so it uses that information to determine who's in the litter box at what time.
So you can actually go in and name each of your cats.
Yes.
And then your app will tell you like, oh, this cat is in here now, like Aowen's in here or Sapphire's in here. So that's really cool. Scarlett is going to pull up one of the messages because they actually get some pretty cute messages on the PetSnowy app, so she just wants to share one of them with you guys.
After each time a cat uses it, you get a message in the log through the app to tell you how long the cat stayed for, what cat used it, and then fun little notes that vary from cat to cat.
Some of them are super cute, actually. Like if they stay too long in the litter box, it says that they were having so much fun in the litter box and playing around and being a goofball. Our latest one was that our cute little Raven, 13 pounds, our well-behaved kitty just made a pit stop, and after 84 seconds of well-mannered business, walked away with the grace only a seasoned cat can possess. And then you can update and also do a profile picture with the cat if you would like, so you get cute little updates with them.
That has a lot of like added features.
It really does, cool. And it's always a little bit different. It's not just always the same, and I kind of like that.
What cat is this best for? So they do say that the PetSnowy is supposed to work for cats up to 20 pounds, and that's kind of where we're getting into why they are helping me with this video. I have a Siberian cat. He is a larger cat breed, and we did try to introduce it to him, but he ended up not really wanting to use it because I feel like because he's a larger cat, he felt a little bit maybe claustrophobic in the globe. So I would say this is going to be best for more so regular sized cats, even though it is fine for up to 20 pounds. Again, Ollie is a larger cat breed, so while he weighs 17 pounds currently, but he still is larger in size in general, so not just the weight being contributing, he's pretty big as well. So I feel like if you have a Maine Coon or just a large cat breed, maybe this wouldn't work for you as much, but I feel like this is going to work for most cats, most cat sizes.
I will say whenever we first started training them to use the PetSnowy that we had the full lid off and basically the whole system off so that they can get used to the space, and we slowly added parts back on and even kept the current up so that they didn't feel so claustrophobic. Raven was definitely the most difficult one. He's our bigger cat, around 14 to 15 pounds depending. So it would take some patience for some bigger cats, I feel like, but there is a point, like you said, that it's probably not the best for it because it's more enclosed and gives it privacy. And I also like its design. It doesn't exactly look like a litter box. I will say it's my favorite design. Yeah. I don't like the openness of some other ones, and this one's nice and closed, and I feel like they have true privacy, kind of like how we have a bathroom.
Yeah, and I feel like it kind of looks like more like aesthetically pleasing than I feel like some litter boxes out there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I honestly forget that it's a litter box at times.
That's nice. And then, so going into that, so as I said, my Siberian cat, because he is a larger cat breed, we couldn't really get him to use it, even though we did what you guys did where we kept the top open just to kind of let him get familiar with it without feeling so claustrophobic. Again, he's a larger cat breed, so won't be an issue for every single type of cat. I think, again, it's going to work for most regular sized cats. So basically, because Ollie, we could not get him to use a litter box, we did end up giving it to our friends here, and they loved it so much that they actually bought another one themselves.
And we convinced my family to buy one as well.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
I didn't that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they love it too.
And their cats had no problem using it, and obviously it might take a little bit of time to introduce them, but how long would you say it took your cats to kind of adjust to it?
A month, maybe 2 for all 3 to be completely on board.
I would say 2 months for everybody to be on board, but we had the bonnet back on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people were still using it. It's just,
We left the curtain up for at least a month and a half to the 2-month mark.
I feel like if you have a younger cat, they're going to easily take to it.
Yes.
Our hardest one was the older one at 8 years old. So
She had been using a traditional litter box for so long that she
Right.
definitely balked at the idea far longer, and it did not help that she definitely felt, I think, a little more of a tight squeeze than her other litter box enclosures, but once she got used to it, I think she is now a very big fan of it as well.
Good. So even if it takes your cat a little bit of time, just know, have some patience, and while you're in this transition period, just keep their other litter boxes that they've been using out so they can still use that in the process, and then kind of maybe slowly maybe take one away. Like, depending on how many cats you have, you might have a couple of litter boxes, so you can kind of take one slowly away and then start introducing. So it might take time, but just know that they'll get used to it eventually. So just takes a little bit of patience at first, maybe. So then, who is this best for? So I would say this is best for any cat parent that is tired of scooping litter, but not only just that, somebody who wants a litter box that's automatic but is also enclosed. Like Scarlett was saying, there are other litter boxes that are open design, so it really just kind of depends on your preference. If you like the idea of having one that is enclosed, then this is a great option for that. And how game changer would you say this is for not having to scoop litter?
Well, we're both very much on the go. We both work full time, and by the time we both arrive home, it's not exactly. We don't look forward to scooping
Right.
litter when you have to do it every day. My mother would always put it in where she came in from the house. We can't afford to do that where we enter from. So not having to do that when we get home, it's a godsend. And now, instead of scooping litter every day, cleaning out the litter box every 2 weeks, we only empty the litter every 2 weeks, and we clean it, the inside of it, once a month.
Okay.
And that's that takes maybe 30 minutes to do each one.
yeah, it's pretty simple to clean them out.
Very nice. So it saves you a lot of time, which is really nice. And also something I want to mention about it is I feel like, yes, you are, having to spend a decent amount of money on that initial investment of the litter box, but I actually feel like when you have an automatic litter box, the litter almost goes longer. So you can almost save a little bit of
Absolutely.
money on litter over time, because the way that it filters out the clean litter, it just makes so you're not getting rid of as much of the litter, so it lasts a little bit longer.
I can actually very much concur with that, because when a cat does the number one, that litter, if you don't scoop it pretty quickly, will then
Clump up pretty large,
clump
right?
and then crumble when you do scoop it, and then it dilutes, and it makes the rest of the litter not as good.
Mm-hmm.
So by this, the litter, the automatic litter unit that we have, the PetSnowy, will scoop much, because of how frequently it scoops, you don't have that problem with the number one clumps. It does go a lot longer.
Yeah, so that's really nice. And not only is it good for the cat parents, I feel like it's also good for your cats, because your cats will then always have a clean bathroom to go into.
With the PetSnowy, I love it because when it automatically rotates, the other cat doesn't have to be bombarded by someone else's
Right.
doo-doo. And also the mat outside of it stops any of the litter to come out. So there's even a second barrier, and it helps catches things too. And also for children, I feel like children think sandbox when they see litter and an open litter box, and this is enclosed.
I hadn't thought of
Kids
that.
can't get into
and
it.
kids really can't get into it, in my personal opinion. And then also for pregnant women,
I can't even.
you
get
don't
my
have
head
to
into
touch it. Like,
Right.
and it comes in the little baggie, and you can quickly close. You can even be wearing gloves if you would like, and you can really limit that interaction with it.
Right, that's really
And
nice.
it's enclosed, so your cats are not going to be harassed by others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like also like maybe allergies to like the litter itself, because some litter can be like really dusty.
Yep.
Oh yes.
So that makes it so you don't have to like breathe it in so much because you don't have to
When
scoop it
when you do add pour new in, because the bonnet has the little opening at the top in front of the litter enclosure, you can literally just pour in, and then before the dust comes out into the room, you can then close the lid, and then you just hit the reset button because you need to reset the weight, and then it just turns it up and fresh to go.
Also collecting a sample for the vet, like if
It
you want
does make it
specific,
much easier.
because if you have 3 cats, I know they're okay with just having a full sample for the family, but you can literally know it's that cat, have them go, and then collect that sample. And just if it's a specific cat's problem.
That's nice. I was actually going to mention like how it can like kind of help you with monitoring your cat's health.
Health.
So how many cats is the PetSnowy good for? So they do mention on the PetSnowy website that it is supposed to work for up to 4 cats. It can. However, again, you guys just kind of wanted an additional one.
I will say it worked for initially, but I do think that we have 3, and it may be because of our cat's particular personalities. The youngest one does like to wait outside and pounce on those doing their business. But I do think having 2 to give each one their own space is ideal.
We only did 2 because we know of spaces that they would prefer, because
Right.
the landing that we have it is very open, so I feel that's welcoming. And we also can enclose them in our master bedroom, so we have a larger bedroom that we have one in the corner, and we honestly don't smell it because of that deodorizer, and they can go as they want to. I will say some of them have specific favorites. Sapphire definitely loves the landing, Awen loves the master bedroom.
So it's like, it's just nice to be able to have it in 2 locations if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think having 2 is ideal for the amount of cats we have, and even if we were to get more cats, I still think 2 could handle up to like 5 or 6.
So with that said then, so even if you do have 3 cats though, I would still say that you can just have 1 and that be still totally fine with just 1 PetSnowy.
I will say that their products are not that expensive when adding on to it, and you can get them to a subscription basis on
Like getting refills of the
deodorizer and the trash bags.
So basically, if you just have 1 PetSnowy and you have like 3 or 4 cats, yes, it can handle it, but it just means that you would be changing out the liner more often, and that's kind of the difference. So for example, on the PetSnowy website, they say, for example, every 1 cat, you would probably empty the waste liner every 2 weeks. 2 cats, it might be once a week, and for 3 cats, you might be changing it twice a week. So it just depends. Would you guys say that's pretty accurate?
Yeah.
So that's right on par. And
Yeah.
our sizes range on cats, and we have 2 smaller cats when
Right.
compared to Raven. So I feel like that is accurate.
We're going to answer some more commonly asked questions. So one question that might be asked often is, does the Snow Plus assist with cats that spray very high? So yes, I mean, since it's enclosed, that is going to help.
Yeah, you just have to take a disinfectant rag and wipe it down.
You will see it though if they do spray up a little high, and all you have to do is wipe it down. It's simple as that. And honestly, again, it's all enclosed, so you won't be smelling it too much. And just regularly cleaning it will do.
Can the PetSnowy Snow Plus help with minimizing litter tracking? Kind of already covered this by saying yes, because it does have that, litter mat on the inside as well.
As the staircase.
Okay, and the
in that,
staircase
which
helps
does help
as
too. But I think it's because of the angle that they do it at. They're forced to flex their paws and drop any litter that they might have accumulated while inside.
And I vacuum every week, and I just quickly take a Swiffer, go through there, and just clean up any extra litter, so that way
That's on the ground.
that's on the
Outside.
We use,
actually on the
on the
pad
inside.
inside, because there's hardly that any comes down. So I'll actually
Really?
extend my vacuum and just clean in there pretty quick, and it does pick up a decent amount of litter sometimes, but
Okay, so that's really nice. So the litter mat on the inside helps a lot with preventing tracking on the outside. So
Absolutely.
you still get a little probably on the outside.
Oh,
it's a
little.
little. We have still another mat outside of it, but it's not that much. Honestly, we could probably do without it, but
That's awesome.
But
that's actually really
we're just
good.
so used to having a mat outside for them.
Right.
So then, yeah, the PetSnowy does a wonderful job
That's
on
really
keeping
good.
it inside.
Another question is, does the PetSnowy require you to use a specific type of litter? So not technically, you can use, it says it's compatible with clumping litters. They also say that it is compatible with certain silica gel litters, and it could be compatible with plant-based or tofu, they say, types of litters. Apparently that's a type of litter, tofu and
That was news to
plant-based
me.
litters. It really is it kind of depends on the size of the litter because it has to be able to filter through the litter box.
I will say the PetSnowy does have a filler line, so you can see where you need to fill your,
Regardless
Yeah,
of what
that's
brand you
what
use.
regardless of what brand. Honestly, did not know that. Glad we've been functioning well without it.
Another thing that Scarlett wanted to mention, if you do end up getting the PetSnowy, is sometimes it might have an error. So she wanted to talk about that a little bit.
I don't know. Every time I see it start to flash, I panic and quickly call for my husband. But I quickly look up at the lid and it gives a nice explanation of common errors. So it's easy as lifting up the lid, seeing what's going on, and then addressing the problem.
There are more commonly asked questions on the PetSnowy website if you do want to see more of the questions that maybe we didn't answer in this video, but I feel like hopefully we answered a lot of questions that you might have. So talking price point, yes, we mentioned that is an investment like any like really high quality, good, trustworthy automatic litter box is. This does start off at $619, at least currently at the time of filming this, but I feel like there are even more expensive ones available. So yes, it's still expensive. It's an investment. Any automatic litter box is going to be an investment, at least a good one. But I do have a discount code if you guys are interested. So do make sure to check out the link and code in the description box below if you are interested in picking up the PetSnowy. It's there for you if you want it. No pressure, but just if you want to save some money. They have their basic model, their like premium one. It's actually the same exact litter box. It's just that depending on that, you'll get extra waste liners or you'll get the fragrance boxes. So that's only the difference in those. When you look at their website, that's what that means. When you do get the basic one, it is $619 and it comes with one waste liner pack of 30 bags. So that is just something to note about that. That is the review of the PetSnowy Snow Plus self-cleaning litter box. I hope this helped answer any of your questions if you have been looking into getting an automatic litter box. Hopefully this kind of helps you out on this specific one. I think this is a great one. Thank you guys so much for joining me and being in this review with me. Really helpful. They love it, so I was like, I have to have them be in the video with me. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the litter box, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If you are not already subscribed to our channel and you enjoy pet content, cat content, then I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in for our next video. Awesome. 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 I'm gonna edit that out.
Right. That's how you end the video.
Keep it awesome.
That's how you finish the video.
You really did. Awesome.
Click like, subscribe.